I was 27 years old, I was a mining broker's clerk in San Francisco. I was alone in the world and had nothing to depend on, my wits and a clean reputation. These were setting my feet in the road to eventual fortune. And I was content with the prospect. During my spare time, I did outside work. One of my part-time employers was Lloyd Hastings, a mining broker. During this period, I was helping Hastings to verify the gold and Curry extension papers covering what seemed to be a highly valuable gold mine. One morning at 2, after 6 hard hours of working these papers, Lloyd Hastings and I went to the Lucia restaurant in Frisco. As we lingered over our coffee, he offered me a proposition.
Henry, how would you like to go to London?
Thank you, no.
Listen to me, I'm thinking of taking a month's option on the gold and Curry extension papers for the locators.
And?
They want $1 million for it.
Not too much of the claim works out, the way it appears it may.
I'm going to try to sell it to London for interest. This one's trip there, and I want you to come with me because you know more about these papers than I.
No thanks.
I'll make it worth your while, pay all your expenses, and give you something if I make the sale.
I have a job.
I'll arrange for you to get a leave of absence. What do you say?
No.
Why?
If I go to London, I'll get out of touch with my work and with mining conditions here. And that means months of getting the hang of things again.
That's a pretty simple excuse, Henry.
More important, perhaps, I think you're doomed to failure.
But you just said the kind is valuable.
It may well turn out that way. But right now, its real value can't be proved. And even so, a month's option may leave you too little time to sell it unless you can sell it within the option time. You'll go stone broke.
I'm going to gamble.
Well, I'm not.
Think of a trip to London.
I have no desire to go to London. I'll remain right here in Frisco.
Very well, but I know you make a mistake. Make a mistake, Henry.
One of my few diversions was sailing the bay. One day I ventured too far and was carried out to sea. Late that night, I was picked up by a freighter which was bound for London. It was a long voyage, and the captain made me work my passage without pay as a common sailor. When I stepped ashore at London, my clothes were ragged and shabby, and I had only $1 in my pocket. This money fed and sheltered me for 24 hours. During the next 24, I went without food and shelter. I tried to get a job in manual labor, but the plow was always the same.
I'm not sure you do. Look, you're a Yank, ain't you?
The next morning, seedy and hungry, I was dragging myself along the Portland place. My desire and I fell in a tempting treasure lying in the gutter. It was a luscious big pear minus one bite. My mouth watered for it, but every time I made the move to get it, some passing eye detected my purpose. I was just getting desperate enough to brave all the shame when the window behind me was raised.
I say, you there. Will you step in here, please?
It was a very sumptuous house, and an equally sumptuous room, into which I was ushered by a servant. A couple of elderly gentlemen were sitting by the window. At the moment, if I had known what they had in mind, undoubtedly I would have bolted for the door. They looked me over very thoroughly.
He looks poor and don't you think, brother? Very, young man. You are poor?
Extremely.
Good. And honest, too?
Honesty is about all I have left, that and character.
Splendid! My brother and I are judges of people. We'd say you are just the man whom we've been searching for. By the way, you are also intelligent, I would say.
Yes, sir, I am, but what do you mean by saying that I appear to be just the man for you whom you've been searching for?
And we don't know you. You're a perfect stranger, and better still American.
It's very kind of you, gentlemen, to call me into your home. I'm a bit puzzled. Could you tell me what you have in mind?
Might we inquire your background?
Pretty soon they have my full story. Their questions were complete and searching, and I gave them a straightforward answer. Finally, one said,
Oh, yes, well, certainly you will do, and I brother, definitely, he's elected.
to what am I elected, please?
This envelope will explain everything. Here, take it. Now, don't open it now. Take it to your lodgings and look it over. Carefully. Be sure not to be rash or hasty.
I'd like to discuss the matter.
Nothing to discuss at the moment.
Is this a joke?
Not at all. And good day. Good luck. Cheerio.
As soon as I was out of sight, I opened my envelope and saw it contained money. I lost not a moment, but shoved the note in my pocket, and broke for the nearest cheap eating house. How I did eat. Finished, I took out my money and unfolded it. I took one glimpse and nearly fainted. It was a single £1,000,000 banknote. $5 million. Made my head swim. The next thing I noticed was the owner of the eating house. His eyes were on the note. He was petrified. He couldn't stir hand or foot. I tossed the note toward him in a careless fashion.
Is it real, sir? £1,000,000 note?
Certainly. Let me have my change, please.
Oh, I'm very sorry, sir, but I can't break the bill.
Look here.
Hawkins is the name. Albert Hawkins.
Proprietor.
Proprietor. It's only a matter of 2 shillings you owe. A trifling sum. Please owe it to me.
I may not be in this neighborhood again for a good time.
It is of no consequence, sir. And you can have anything you want. Any time you choose. Let the account run as long as you please. I'm not afraid to trust a gentleman as rich as you choose, just because you choose to play larks by dressing as a tramp.
Well, thank you. I shall take advantage of your kindness.
Not at all, sir. Please, sir, enter my humble restaurant and place any time you wish. I shall be honored to receive you.
I was frightened, afraid that the police might pick me up. I was afraid of the 2 brothers' reactions when they had discovered they had given me a £1,000,000 note instead of what they must have intended, give me a £1 note. I hurried to their house and rang the bell. The same servant appeared to ask for the brothers.
They are gone.
Gone? Where?
On a journey.
But whereabouts?
To the continent, I think.
The continent?
Yes, sir.
Which way? By the route?
I can't say, sir.
When will they be back?
In a month, you said.
A month? This is awful. Tell me how they get word to them. It's of great importance.
I can't indeed. I have no idea where they've gone, sir.
It must be some member of the family.
Family's been away 4 months in Egypt and India, I think.
There's been an immense mistake made. They'll be back before night. Tell them I've been here, and I'll keep going till it's all made right. And they needn't worry.
Don't tell them if they come back, sir. I'm not expecting them. They said you'd be here in an hour to make inquiries. But I must tell you, it's all right. They'll be here on time to meet you. And that's all they said.
I had to give it up and go away. What a riddle it was.
No.
What a riddle it all was. They would be here on time. What could that mean? I thought of the letter. I got it out right. It said, "You are an intelligent and honest man, as one can see by your face. We conceive you to be poor and a stranger. Enclosed, you will find a sum of money. It is lent to you for 30 days without interest. Report to this house at the end of that time. I have a bet on you. If I win, you shall have any situation that is in my gift. Any. That is, that you shall be able to prove yourself familiar with the competent. That was all.
Competent.
The signature, no address, no date. I hadn't the least idea what the game was, nor whether harm was meant me or kindness. The letter said there was a bet on me. What kind of bet? What the bet that I would abscond with the £1,000,000 banknote? Which brother was betting on my honesty? I reasoned this way. If I asked the bank, they would deposit it to the credit of the man it belongs to. They'll ask me how I came by it. And if I tell the truth, they put me in an asylum. On the other hand, if I lie, they put me in jail. The same result would follow if I tried to bank it anywhere or borrow money on it. Therefore, I have to carry this burden around until those men come back. I'm months suffering without wages or profit. Unless I help win that bet, whatever it may be, if I do, I will get the situation I'm promised. My hopes began to rise high. Then I looked at my rags. Could I afford a new suit? No, for I had nothing in the world but £1,000,000. Finally, I gave in and entered a fashionable tailor shop. The clerk looked at me very arrogantly.
No chores to be done here. Get out.
Perhaps you have a misfit suit.
We don't give away suits, even this one.
I can pay for it.
Phony.
He took me into a back room and overhaul a pile of rejected suits. He tossed the rattiest one at me. I put it on. It didn't fit. It wasn't in any way attractive.
You may have that for £4 cash.
It would be in a combination if you could wait some days for the money. I haven't had any small change in me right now.
Oh, you have it? Well, of course I didn't expect it. I'd only expect a gentleman like you to carry large change.
My friend, you shouldn't judge a stranger by the clothes he wears. I'm quite able to pay for this suit. I simply don't wish to put you to the trouble of changing a large note.
As long as reviews are going around, I might say that it wasn't quite your affair, or that we couldn't change any note that you might happily be carrying around. On the contrary, we can.
Oh, very well. I apologize. Here you are.
Thank you. Wait, well, you see, it's, take it back, please. Mr. Swaney! Mr. Swaney! What is it? Todd, what is it? Stop shouting. Oh, Mr. Swaney, I can't control myself. What's up? What's the trouble? Who's wanting? Who's this?
I'm a customer and I'm waiting for my change.
Change. Todd, get his change. Get it for him. Get him his change. It's easy for you to say that, Mr. Spelly, but look at the Bill, let me see it. Todd, son of such a man and such as unspeakable suit as that. Todd, you're a born fool. Born fool drives every millionaire in this place because you can't tell a millionaire from a trend. Yes, sir, someone should know and keep him with their position.
Thank you, but this one will do.
Of course it won't do. I shall burn it. Todd, burn this suit at once. Yes, Mr. Smedley. We shall be honored to outfit you completely as morning clothes, evening dress, sack suits, tweed, sheets, lunch, everything you need. Come to our book and a pen. Now, length leg, 32 inches, sleeve.
But look here, I can't give you an order for suits unless you can wait indefinitely or change bill.
Definitely, sir. It's a weak word. Internally, that's the word, sir. Todd, rush these things through. Let the minor customers wait. Sit down with the gentleman's address and...
I'm changing my quarters. I'll drop it and leave the new address.
Quite right, sir. Quite right. One moment. Allow me to show you out. And you needn't worry about paying us. Your credit is the highest. Good day, sir. And you don't ask greatly, sir.